and welcome back to my channel, Events Decor by Lisa. So today I wanted to talk to you guys about setting up a balloon event decor outside. So as many of you guys know, this weekend was my daughter Galilea's 9th birthday, and so we did a Stitch themed balloon garland outside of our home. And this was my first time setting up an event outside, and there was a big learning curve. Definitely very different from when I set up our balloon garlands inside our venue space. So I wanted to talk to you guys a few things that I learned on this setup. The first thing that I quickly learned is that the quality of your balloons is super important. And I'm gonna try to put a little clip here of what was happening. But I started using the Decor balloon brand. And I was using blue, and seriously about 15 balloons popped of that brand. So that is definitely not a brand to be using outside. The brand that I like to use, that I'm usually using here on our videos, that brand, yeah, maybe 1 or 2 popped, but definitely not the amount that popped of the other brand. So you do have to use good quality balloons when you're working outside. Make sure that you use any of the brands that I am going to list here. Those are some good brands that you're able to use outside, but do not use that other brand because definitely you will have a lot of balloons popping. The second thing, and not only in outside events, but inside events as well, we always try to have as many balloons blown up before we get to the event. Okay, this was at my home, so I did not blow up the balloons ahead of time. And what I quickly realized is that even though there wasn't a lot of wind, balloons kept flying away from me. So blowing up the balloons and setting them in bags is definitely a key to setting up outside. Try to have everything ready to go, just to where you might tie them together, set them up, and that's it. So doing as many balloons as at home, if possible, is number 2. Number 3, you guys must have weights for outside events. Although it doesn't seem as windy, even though there's a little bit of wind, you definitely need some sand weights or some sand, the bags where you can put rocks in there, whatever you can put inside of those weight bags. You definitely need those, and a sturdy backdrop. For this event, because our venue was booked and they were using my sturdy stand, I borrowed a stand from a family member, which was definitely more flimsy, and I would not recommend it, especially for an outside event. This stand, I had to put it next to a wall so that way it could stay, and then right before it was party time, I moved it to where there was no wall behind. But like I said, it wasn't as windy as it could be in other outside events. So definitely having a sturdy stand. Number 4, make sure you guys take a big water bottle, a cup with ice and water. Especially if you're down in South Texas like I am, take your water, take a towel, because it is hot, all right? So you will get frustrated because balloons are flying, the wind is happening, it might be raining, it might be humid outside, all these things, and not having your water bottled or your towel to refresh you and cool you out during this hot summer, you're definitely going to be frustrated, and I would definitely recommend for you to have that ready to go with you. And number 5, one of the things that I did notice is that if the balloons, I set up some balloons outside in the front of our yard, and those were receiving direct sunlight, they popped very quickly. Even the good brand balloons popped very quickly. So anything that is receiving direct sunlight is not going to last very long. So that is something that you have to speak with your customers ahead of time and tell them, please check around, see if there's a shade anywhere where I can set up, somewhere where the balloons are not going to be receiving direct sunlight because they will pop. Like I said, even our good brand balloons were popping outside. All right, you guys, those are my top 5 recommendations setting up an outside event. There's a lot of more things that probably come into this, but this is my first time, and these are the first 5 things that are super important for me as a balloon artist. I want you guys to make sure that this is something you want to do, doing outside events. As for me, I would definitely prefer doing inside events, and I've spoken to some balloon artists that only do inside events, or they only work from August to May. They do not work June and July down here in Texas because it is super hot, and just balloons do not withhold the heat, and they prefer not to do outside events. All right, you guys, let me know if you are a balloon artist and you have some recommendations, and for us as new artists that you can let us know. I am sure there's a lot of more things that are to be learned. Oh, before I forget, there was one more. One of the things I also learned is that balloons change colors outside. This had never happened because I had never done an outside event. Balloons change colors. So my bright colors for this stand, and I'll show you guys a picture, changed colors overnight. Thankfully, I had a shine that I will also share on here, and I spread it all over the balloon garland, and it brought the colors back to life. But it is something that I did not expect. I had purchased that balloon shine just in case, and I never used it. I would think to myself, what do people use this for? Because the balloons are always looking great. Well, they're for outside balloons. So I shined them up. My balloons were on the shade, so they were not directly in the sun. I have heard that if you do this shine directly in the sun, they will pop faster. So those are things that you guys definitely need to keep in mind when you're doing your balloon garland. All right, you guys, comment below if there's some tips and tricks that you guys would love to share with us, and let us know if you have any questions. All right, talk to you soon. Make sure to subscribe and turn on that notification. Bye.